Hi to everyone. This is Professor P. Saktivel and M. Nandini, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Thandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology, Vellore. In this video, we are going to discuss about the basic construction and working principles of DC generator, types of DC generator, and also the EMF equation of DC generator. Let's start with our topic. So first is the DC machine. So it is an electromechanical energy conversion device. There are two types of DC machines are available. One is the DC generator and another one is the DC motor. The constructions of the DC motor and DC generator is nearly the same. Next is the DC generator. So DC generator, it converts the mechanical energy into the DC electrical energy. So next we are going to see the basic constructions of DC machines. This is the main part of the DC machines, which are yoke, poles, interpoles, winding, pole shoes, armature, commutator, brushes and bearing. Let's see one by one. So this is the DC machine's construction diagram. Here the first part, that is the outer part of the DC machine, is the yoke. So yoke is also called as the frame. Yoke is mainly used to provide the mechanical strength to the whole assembly, either in a DC machine or in a DC motor. It is also carries the magnetic flux produced by the field winding. Yoke is mainly made up of a cast iron or steel. So next part of the DC machine is the poles. So each pole is divided into two main parts. One is the pole core and another one is the pole shoe. So pole core is basically carries a field winding which is necessary to produce the flux. It directs the flux produced through air gap to armature core to the next pole. The next pole shoe enlarges the area of armature core to come across the flux, which is necessary to produce the larger induced EMF. To achieve this, pole shoe has given a particular shape. So next is the field winding. So here field winding is usually made up of a copper. Field coils are formed, wound and placed on each pole and are connected in a series manner. They are wound in a such way that when energized they form alternate poles, that is the either north and south poles. So next is the armature core. So here armature is the rotating part of the DC machine. So it is mainly in a cylindrical shape with slots to carry the armature winding. The armature is built up of a thin laminated circular steel disc for reducing the eddy current losses. It may be provided with air ducts for the axial airflow for cooling purposes. Armature is keyed to the shaft in order to get the output. So next is the armature winding. So it is usually former wound copper coil which rests in the armature slots. The armature conductors are insulated from each other and also from the armature core. The armature winding can be wound by using one of the following methods. So one method is the lap winding method and another one is the wave winding method. So next is the commutator. So commutator is only present in a DC machines. So the basic nature of EMF induced in the armature conductor is a alternating quantity. So we need to convert our alternating quantity into the direct quantity. So we need the rectification. So for that purpose, the commutator is used to convert our alternating quantity into the direct quantity. That device is called as a commutator. So next is the brushes. So brushes are stationary and resting on the surface of the conductor. So the brushes are mainly used to collect the current from the commutator and make it available to the stationary external circuits. So brushes are usually made from a carbon or graphite. So these are all the some main parts of the DC machines. So next is the working principles of a DC generator. So according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, whenever a conductor is placed in a varying magnetic field or a conductor is moved in a magnetic field, an EMF gets induced in the conductor. According to that principle, a DC generator was worked. So next is the types of DC generator. There are mainly two types of DC generator are available. One is the separately excited and another one is the self-excited. So separately excited DC generator. So in the name itself it is a separately excited. So in this type of DC generator, field coils are energized from an independent external DC source. That was shown in the diagram. So here the field coils are energized from an independent DC source. So the voltage drop in the armature circuit, that is the VA equal to IA into RA. So IA is the armature current and RA is the armature resistance. So from the diagram, armature current equal to the line current equal to the total current. So the voltage across the load V equal to I into RA. So here instead of IA, we are replacing with the I. So next is the self-excited DC generator. So in case of a self-excited DC generator, here the magnets are energized by the current supplied by themselves. Here three types of self-excited DC generator are available. One is the series wound, another one is a shunt wound and compound wound. In case of a series wound, here field winding in series with the armature winding. For shunt wound, field winding is parallel with the armature winding. Compound wound means it is the combination of series and shunt winding. So first is the series wound generator. So here in this type of generator, the field winding are connected in series with the armature winding. So whole current flows through the field coil as well as the load. So as series field winding carries a full load current, it is designed with relatively few turns of thick wire. The electrical resistance of series field winding is therefore very low, that is nearly 0.5 ohm. So here from the diagram, the armature current is equal to the series field winding current, that is equal to the load current is equal to the total current I. So the voltage across the load is equal to Eg minus Ia into Ra plus Rse. So Ra is the armature resistance and Rse is the field winding resistance. So next is the shunt wound DC generator. So in this type of DC generator, the field windings are connected in parallel with the armature winding. So in shunt wound generator, the voltage in the field winding is same as in the voltage across the terminal. So here the armature current is Ia is dividing into two parts. One is the load current and another one is the shunt field current. So the shunt field current is equal to the, that is the ISH is equal to the voltage divided by R shunt. So the voltage across the load is equal to the V equal to Eg minus Ia into Ra. So Ia is the armature current and Ra is the armature resistance. So next is the compound wound DC generator. So compound wound DC generator have a both series field winding and shunt field winding. They have a two types of compound wound DC generator. One is the short shunt compound and another one is the long shunt compound. So for a short shunt compound wound DC generator, where only the shunt field winding is parallel with the armature winding that was shown in the figure. Here the shunt field current IS is equal to the load current. Shunt field current ISH is equal to the voltage plus ISC RSC divided by RSH. The armature current is equal to the IA equal to ISH plus IL. Here the voltage across the load is equal to the EG minus IA into RA minus ISC into RSC. So next is the long shunt compound wound DC generator. Here shunt field winding is in parallel with both series field and the armature winding that was shown in the figure. Here the shunt field current is equal to the V by RSH. Armature current is equal to the series field current, that was the addition of load current plus shunt field winding current. Here the voltage drop across the load is equal to the EG minus IA into RA minus RSC. So next is the EMF equations of DC generator. So before going to analyze the EMF equation, let us assume phi is the flux per pole in the Weber, Z is the total number of armature conductor, N is the armature rotation in revolution per minute, P is the number of poles, A equal to number of parallel path in the armature, and E equal to EMF induced in any parallel path are generated EMF. So according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the average EMF generated per conductor is equal to the d phi by dt, that is equal to the flux cut per time taken. So flux cut per conductor in one revolution, that is d phi equal to phi into P. The unit for that flux is the Weber. So number of revolution per minute is equal to N by 60. So time taken for one revolution, that is dt equal to 60 per N seconds. So substitute all the value in the above equation, that is d phi by dt equal to phi p divided by 60 by N. So N is moved up, so then we get phi p N by 60 volt. So therefore the total EMF E generated between the terminal is given as E equal to average EMF generated per conductor into number of conductor in each parallel path, that is phi p N by 60 into Z by A. So number of conductor in each parallel path is Z by A. So here A equal to P for lap winding, A equal to 2 for wave winding. So in this video we are discussed about the construction and working of DC generator and also the types of DC generator and EMF equation of the DC generator. Thank you for watching my video.